Yeah, we find her, that beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes, I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's a beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. He was right at the train station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe, shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
So the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. One beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it, beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Welcome late night. Good morning to those of you that were watching the morning. Good evening if you're watching me live. Good evening, my special person, live with Natu. Another special person, Kathy Williams. Good evening. Welcome. Let's talk about it. I've got another important topic tonight. And again, good morning to those of you that were watching the morning. Shout out to you all. I appreciate you. Thank you for always supporting the channel. This is Men of Prestige. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. As you're coming in, as you're watching this as a rebroadcast later, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Okay. Now we're paying attention to numbers. Okay, because I want to make sure that we're serving the audience. I want to make sure that we're taking care of you. Okay. So pay attention. Don't lose it. Stay with me, okay? I know I'm doing late night right now. It's fine, okay? But just make sure you're watching the rebroadcast. You're watching replay. You're tagging replay gang, okay? Natu's always doing that. Shout out to you. All right. Yes, tonight I've got a couple of videos I want to react to very quickly. We're not going to spend too long here tonight, okay? But just in case you're brand new here, over here we talk about relationship, we talk about self, power, social, emotional intelligence, seduction, and attraction. We cover those bases. Once we cover those bases, I believe that you are doing well, okay? Now, just in case you don't know, you can download our book, this book right here. You can download it for free at loveandprestige.com. You can also book a coaching session with me and my wife over there, okay? All right. Don't forget, we are launching a program, a 30-day boot camp for everyone who wants to take this seriously. 30-day boot camp is absolutely free, but it's going to, we're trying to create a movement, okay? We want to create a movement. We need all the forces behind this movement, okay? So, and we definitely want to bring you on as a partner, okay? But this particular program, the way you're going to get locked in on it is free, okay? So look out for it, June 12th. What's today? Okay, in about 7 more days, we'll be releasing that program to everybody. We might do a pre-launch where you can access a little bit earlier. So just be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're signed up for notification directly from me. Don't count on YouTube. Okay, you can do that by going to lolaanola.com/WhatsApp and join the WhatsApp group over there. Okay, and if that doesn't work, you can use this phone number. Send a WhatsApp message to this phone number, and we'll get you inside. All right. With that being said, today we're talking about this is all women are loyal to. What are we talking about right now? Okay, we're going to react to 2 videos today. And divorce is a Ponzi scheme. There's all kind of ideas that people are bringing up all over the place. Listen, my own mission is to pick them up and tackle them, okay? and I need your help to do that, okay? Because honestly, you might be one of those people repeating these talking points, okay? All right, so women are only loyal to, what is she talking about? Well, the first one we want to address, let's first of all address the divorce is a Ponzi scheme part. Let's address that one first, okay? All right, so let's see here. There you go. Let's bring this up. There you go.
Scheme.
There you go.
Divorce is a Ponzi scheme.
Wahala.
In 2014, did you know the women that made it to the 100 richest list, only 2 made their money with their own skills. The rest, the other 98 women, divorce. Stop the cap. You ain't out there grinding and getting money. Y'all are
He
marrying.
said stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Equity into thinking.
I
this
really
was
should be
forever.
telling him to stop the cap, but oh well.
Following the 80% of women are the initiators of divorce rule. Y'all ran out there, got divorced, and then took that man's half of that man's money, alienated from his children. Stop the cap. You ain't built nothing. You came to steal and destroy. Red flag.
He actually threw a red flag. Huh? Wahala. Anyway, I want to take the time to dissect that properly, okay?
Divorce.
What's the name of his show? Toxic reality show. Why would you even name your show Toxic Reality Show? That should tell you a lot, right, about the person. I'm sure he's trying to make a point, but just terrible, completely terrible. Divorce is a Ponzi scheme. What is a Ponzi scheme? First of all, what is a Ponzi scheme? Some of you might not even be familiar with what a Ponzi scheme is, right? Right? Ponzi scheme is a form of fraud in which belief in the success of a non-existing enterprise is fostered by the payment of quick returns to the first investors from money invested by later investors. When you're bringing people in on a program, and the way you pay the investors is by bringing new blood into the program. That's what a Ponzi scheme is. And I'm not sure how this is related to divorce, but let's hear him a little bit more.
Is a Ponzi scheme. In 2014, did you know?
So if divorce is a Ponzi scheme, who is the investor? Who is the earlier investor? Who is the later investor? Okay. All right. I should stop the cap. I know what he's trying to say, right? He's trying to say women are scamming their way to the top of the billionaire list. That's what he meant by Ponzi scheme. Okay.
The women that made it to the 100 richest list, only 2 made their money with their own skills.
Maybe possibly that has something to do with the systemic forces against women getting on that list. Maybe, right? But maybe it's right. Maybe it's because of women filing divorces against billionaires. Well, how many women exactly are married to billionaires, right? How many women exactly? Right now today, billionaires on the top 100 Forbes list. How many women are married to them? That's about 100, right? So, exactly how many women are committing this particular fraud that he's talking about, right?
The rest, the other 98 women, divorce. Stop the cap. You ain't out there grinding and getting money. Y'all are marrying dudes. And after they've put their sweat and equity into thinking this was forever. Following the 80% of women are the initiators of divorce rule.
Oh, there we go. 80% of, see here, he actually said it wrong or wrongly. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Okay, not 80% of women. Okay, all right. So it's Jesus.
And after they've put their sweat and equity into thinking this was forever. Following the 80% of women are the initiators of divorce rule.
80% of women are the initiators of divorce rule. Is this the rule or I thought it was data? I thought this was coming from data. Which one? This is confusion, everyone. Anyway, it's a rule. I didn't know it was a rule, but anyway, following the 80% of women divorce rule. Okay, so 80%, only 2 made it to that list, but actually working. All right, how many black men are on that list? I'm not shaming black men. I'm just trying to say, what are the reasons why that list is dominated by white people or not non-black people, right? Why? I'm guessing it's not just because they're scamming their way to the few that made it there, scammed their way there. I'm guessing there might be other variables, forces, oppression against the black race, right? Maybe not. But we can agree that there are obviously other factors, right? I can appreciate everything else being equal. Most women that make it to this list are divorcees, okay? Now, why is it that this man, what value were this man looking for in these ladies before they married them? Granted, they've changed. Okay, granted, I get it. But what value were they looking for? Can we identify what that is? I understand it's disappeared. But what were they looking for in these people?
Y'all ran out there, got divorced.
Y'all run out there and got divorced. Toxic reality show. Hey. Why are we to blame though?
You're right.
I'm trying to find out. Okay. Women are making it to the billionaires list because some men choose to be simps. I guess that's what he's saying. Right? What is going on here? So men made some kind of choice involved in this, right? They made some kind of choice, right? Right? Some kind of choice made by some men were involved in driving this 98 women who filed for divorce to the top of the list, right? Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, I did have I had Jeff Bezos on the thumbnail, right? I was basically referring to this video, right? This is not right. Get your own money, collect your money, right? That's where this is from this video. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Share screen. There you go. Right? This one right here. What happened? What happened? Okay, let's reduce it. There you go. Okay, there you go. Get your own money. You see Jeff Bezos, right? The wife is on that list. She filed for divorce, right? But again, it's easy to point fingers at this kind of situation and say, hey, can you get your own money? How did you get to that list, right? That's what he's talking about. But
Took half of that man's money, alienated from his children.
Take half of that man's money, alienated from his children. There are people that this happened to. Okay? They are still the minority. Okay? There are extreme situations. Of course, the loudest we tend to see on the internet, right? But that's usually not the case. Okay? There are a lot of nasty divorces going on. But alienated his children, took half of his money. Yes, it does happen. Okay? And the more you're focused on this kind of stories, probably the easiest is going to get for you to attract this kind of stories to your own personal life. Just so you know, gentlemen, okay? If this is all your focus, I'm not saying don't pay attention to the extreme and find ways to protect yourself. I'm just saying if that's all you're consuming, yeah, you're probably going to create fear in yourself. You will attract what you fear the most.
Stop the cap. You ain't build nothing. You came to steal and destroy.
Came to steal and destroy. Kilo day. Why now? Wait. Let's list the unmarried billionaires. Oprah, Kylie, Jenner, Rihanna. Oh, they're on that list, right? Not true. Where is he getting the numbers from? Well, 92.2 sounds like a made-up number. It's just like saying 80-10, right? Even numbers, right? It's triggering you. Anyway, let's finish it. I have another one. Red flag. Now, he's a red flag himself. I'll just tell you that much right now. I'll leave it alone, okay? I'll leave that story alone. But divorce is a Ponzi scheme. Divorce is not a Ponzi scheme. Divorce is escape, okay? People run away from situations they don't want to be in anymore, right? And yes, if they were used to certain types of lifestyle, there's a good chance that they might demand for you to continue to take care of that, right? At least temporarily, right? And if you had kids with them, yes, they might demand for child support, right? And money was stolen. Well, I don't know how you concluded at that, but I get it. I know that the process is painful, okay? The idea of a wife pulling the rug from under you and taking money when it's not really the money you're fighting for. You just hate the idea that she filed for divorce. You hate the audacity. That's really what you should be talking about, right? That if you're really going to be honest with yourself, like the audacity, right? And then you would like to kick her all the way to the curb and not take a dime. Unfortunately, the society we live in, especially the Western society, does not work like that. So there's more to it. There's always more to it. All right. I got one more story that I want to cover. I'll be right back. This is very quick, very short. I'll be right back. Brother Patrick, sir, good evening, sir. How are you, sir? Good to see you, sir. We're doing late night, okay? We'll do late night this week and next week, okay? But weekend. I want to try to see if we can create time on weekend to do a big blown either Saturday or Sunday afternoon session, okay? All right, so let's keep going. Let's watch this video. This is all women are loyal to, and it's a she. Okay, you thought that person was triggering you not to. Brace yourself. Okay, she has some things to say.
Like, men are committed. You know, men don't fall in love like how
Are
women.
they, though?
Yeah.
Always 24/7 committed, 100%.
Do you agree that women are committed to their feelings? When we come to commitment, men commit. Men don't commit easily, but when we do, we do.
I'd have to disagree.
No, I'm telling you, that's a man's nature. When
But
we are
what-
really into a woman, let's
What
say,
do you mean when you say commitment?
Like,
I'll try to understand
let's
that
say
better
if
instead.
this is my woman, out of
Yeah.
like bunch, you ended up deciding to be with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
You're committed to this woman. You could lay your life down for that woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying women don't commit, but I'm just saying they only commit to their feelings. A man's feelings will never ever change if he's committed to a woman.
Women are more loyal to their feelings than to your sacrifice. Women are more loyal to their feelings than to your sacrifice. And I've seen things that makes me believe we are more loyal to our feelings than to a man's sacrifice. So if you're like, send a woman to school from primary to university and till she gets to PhD. If she finds somebody she loves, she will damn you and damn your sacrifices and marry the person. If you like, give a woman one of your kidneys. If she does not have feelings for you, she is not going to care about what you sacrificed. The only thing we think with is our VJ. That's the only thing we think with, our emotions and our VJ. There are some women, that it does not matter what you do for them. What matters is what they feel for you. If what they feel for you is disdain, there is nothing that you can do for them that they can reference. Stay with you because you have money. If she sees somebody that gives her more money, you are gone.
She what?
A woman can stay with you because you have 6-pack. If she finds somebody with 7 packs, you are gone.
Jesus!
If you want a woman to stay with you, you have to keep fueling her feelings. If you want your woman to stay with you, you have to keep fueling her feelings. A woman can have a great husband and still fantasize about her ex-boyfriend. It's not manufactured. The truth is, women are more into their feelings than a man's sacrifice.
I don't know. Where do we start from? Wala wa. Where do we start from?
Nigeria don't repass so at you cause our call.
At this point, do you think we have oversupply of advisors online? What is going on here? What is going on? Let me see. Not to say false. Reversed is the case here. So you want to throw men under the bus? We can't have this conversation without throwing men under the bus. Can we have this conversation without throwing men under the bus? Madam, we're not talking about gold diggers. Let's just make that clear. What the F? Liar. Just a liar. What the F?
Why the fuck you lying?
Okay, alright. You think she's a liar, huh? Good night, you cannot. No, wait. Don't leave her. True to some extent. Well, apart say true to some extent. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that woman is a witch then. Great husband and fantasizing about ex. Never heard. There's a lot there, right? D-Love, you're here late night. Wow. That's a new one. You never show up in the late night, but welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. Oversupply, right, of advisors. Advisors just yakba everywhere, sha. Hey. Now, I don't have the full context of what she's talking about, but she looks like she's doing TikTok video. But you know, generalized views go faster and more viral on TikTok, so I understand it. But let's unpack it. There's some things that she said that's, yeah, just outright lying.
Why the fuck you?
Just lying. But I think she's. Oh God.
What beauty?
Angboro ma di yellow eku. Don't know what Jacko Jaton. Jojo says she's right. I have seen everything she said. Oh, some women, okay. All right. So, if she's right, if we're just going to, I know you don't mean absolutely, but if she's absolutely right, we'll be living in a war zone. Okay. Men can't handle, if that's absolutely right, men can't handle that, you know. There will be angry men everywhere. We'll be living in an active war zone. So, are there stories out there of people behaving this way? Of course. But the way she painted it, she made it sound like it's majority. But also, there's a lot of things in what she's saying. And what I want to do, all right, is I want to dissect it. I want to dissect what she said, word for word, okay? But Nat, if you want to come up, feel free. Feel free. I'll drop the link. Okay. But I want to dissect what she said, word for word, because there's a lot of misleading things in it. Okay. And there are a couple of things she would do. She will basically give a not so needed pass to men. Okay, we don't really need her pass. If men want to participate in bad behavior, we'll participate without her pass. Okay, we don't really need her pass. But worse about this is that she's going to start conditioning a lot of young women to think that it's okay to normalize these certain behaviors, and we can't afford that. Okay, what that's going to create is a bunch of vindictive women who might even try to match up with this type of behavior, and it's just not good. Okay, it's not good. Some things are better left unsaid. My wife and I were just talking about that upstairs. Okay, because at least we have some kind of moral compass, some kind of guide, some kind of, like, even if we participate in bad behavior, we generally don't want to cross certain lines. But if you just leave all the doors wide open, directly or indirectly, it doesn't help. Okay, and that's what she's doing. She's almost making it seem like all women are just gonna be out there hurting men. Okay, it's not true. Just like all men are not out to hurt women. Okay, it's just not true. But let's get into it.
Not committed. Men don't fall in love like how
Are
women.
they, though?
Yeah.
Always.
So she was trying to support this man that was talking first.
24/7. Committed. 100%.
Do you agree that women are committed to their feelings? When we come to commitment, men commit. Men don't commit easily, but when we do, we do.
To some extent, I see what he's saying there. But I'm not sure he's talking about modern men. Modern men are caught up in their feelings more often than, we've seen that over the past few days. Yeah, they get caught up in their feelings, and it's worse because we're talking about anger for the most part, So, but I see where he's going.
I'd have to disagree.
No, I'm telling you, that's a man's nature. When
But
we are
what-
really into a woman, let's
What
say.
do you mean when you say commitment?
When men commit to marriage, not necessarily to the woman, when men commit to a marriage, he will stay there for the lifetime. Okay? Part of the reasons being that he can participate in bad behaviors and not be checked by society. Okay? He's literally allowed to do that by society. Women also allow it. Okay? So when a man commits to a marriage, it's not necessarily the same thing as it's not. It could be if he's doing it the proper way, but it's not necessarily committing to the woman, okay, or to loyalty to the woman or faithfulness. Committing to the marriage is not necessarily committing to faithfulness for a lot of men. Am I clear about that? So, and I think he's talking about commitment to marriage. As you can tell from the number, which is true, 75 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women, not because the man is just having a good time in the marriage. He's just committed to the ideology of the marriage. He will stay there forever, even if he's not enjoying himself. He will normalize it. That woman, just leave her alone. He will go and participate in bad behavior outside, extramarital affair, if he has to fill that gap. Okay, and it's accepted more from a man than it's acceptable more from a man than a woman in our society. Okay, that's what he's talking about. Mm-hmm.
You're committed to this woman. You could lay your life down for that woman, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying women don't commit, but I'm just saying they only commit to their feelings. A man's feelings will never ever change.
So committing to their feelings is wordplay. Okay. There is no such thing as committing to feelings. Okay? Do they operate out of their feelings? Not necessarily either. Okay? Most women adults are going to work and they're doing things and they're performing duties and stuff like that. Do they get caught up in their feelings more so? Are they more? Do they express more emotionally from a place of feelings in romantic relationships? Yes. That has nothing to do with majority of the rest of our lives, which is you're spending time at work, you're taking care of babies. Again, these are talking points that are used to basically try to shame women into behaving properly, and we're going about it the wrong way. Okay, not too far. You did, yeah. Talk to me. You're muted. You're muted if you're trying to talk. I think you're on the show already. Oh. Well, just let me know once you can hear me. All right. Kathy says, I don't get. What does it mean by women are committed to their feelings? So women are generally known to be more expressive from a place of emotions, right? That's what he's talking about, right? Men tend to suppress their emotions. That doesn't mean they're not emotional. They suppress it. And energy, like anything else in life, especially energy, is neither created nor destroyed. Something has to give, right? So even though we suppress it, something is given. Okay, that's why you see when a man is angry, he's really, really angry. It's an outburst. It's a bad idea, right? But men also have emotions and have feelings, and men are also, if he's going to use that language, men are also committed to their feelings. In fact, no one, every single one of us, I say that here all the time, no one cares about anything outside of their emotions. Natsu, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Let me finish saying this. No one cares about anything outside of their feelings. All of us, including when we try to justify it as logic. That's literally our feelings, right? That's part of our emotional needs, including security, safety, our need to contribute to other people's lives, our need for growth, our need to engage personal growth. All of that is coming from a place of feelings. All of it. We're human beings. Okay. But yeah, what are your thoughts so far? Not to make sure I collect your thought now, because I won't go over time.
They're messing my brain up. First of all, I don't know what that guy is saying. I would have agreed with him if he would have said men are committed to their men's feelings are men's feelings are attached to what they see, like their feelings are visual. You know what I'm saying? So if he had said something like that, I would have gone with him. Do you understand what I'm saying? I would have
maybe.
Like, okay, this to some extent this makes sense. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
But him saying that, I'm like, I don't know, because it's for men it's always like first visual, then they go ahead to see what they have inside. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have few men that are attracted to women that are like smart and other stuff that has nothing to do with looks, but it's not a lot of them. Trust me, it's not a lot of them. And then for women, like we are attached, or we get committed to how you make us feel. You understand what I'm saying? So
okay, that's closer to accurate. That's closer to accurate than just being committed to just feelings.
Right.
How we make you feel as a woman can make.
It's very important to us.
Yeah.
It's very, very important to us. So she's saying that the woman can love you. If she's somebody with six-pack, she will follow the person.
Wait, we'll get there. We're gonna dissect that, right? So I just wanna go statement by statement right now, because I'm just going back. Yeah. Because there's a lot there, right? You know, but right now, based off of what he's saying, men are committed to marriage. It's not necessarily the same thing as committed to the woman or committed to faithfulness. These are different things, you know.
And if you remember one time in one of your shows, I said one thing I've learned from your show is that anytime anybody makes a statement, the first thing I always ask is, what do you mean? So like a lot of men's idea of marriage, you've seen people like the Ekenes and the rest of them. Some of them are committed to marriage because they want to have offsprings. You understand what I'm saying? Some of them are committed to marriage because that's what the society says. That's what your culture says.
But it's also a lie. It's also a lie. Wait until a woman cheats on them. That's when you know it's a lie.
Exactly. That's what.
Because if the woman already gave you children, what do you need faithfulness for?
Right.
If that's all you're looking for, right?
So and that's why I'm saying I always ask, what do you mean when people say that? Because and at the end of the day, you find that people's perspective are all different.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. So now, women being committed to their feelings, all of us are committed to their feelings. It's not necessarily a commitment. We just don't care about anything outside of our feelings. We might justify with all different talking points, trying to use logic to arrange it, including our sense of religion. It's because it makes us feel safe. It's a feeling, you know.
And our
So
feeling can be anything too. Our feelings can be like can be different. Like people's feelings differ. You understand what I'm saying? So like
what do you mean?
some men like that feeling of that woman that makes them feel like that will validate them. You understand what I'm
Yes,
saying? Right.
yes,
So
yes.
exactly.
Once you
So
feel
for some
validated, it
right,
skews the way you
right,
move. Yep,
right,
yep,
right,
yep.
right. And then for some women, some men, what are you able to bring to the table? Like that's what it is for them. And that's this applies for toxic people.
In the
They
long
end up
run, in the
yeah,
long run, yes, those things show. But when you just meet a woman or you just meet a man, in fact, if we're gauging it, right, character, feelings is up here. You're just in love,
right, right.
you know. Even though you might have gone through some classes and you think, listen, you're caught up in your feelings, you really like that, and especially the younger you are. If you are
Yep.
a man or woman of a certain age, you might move a little bit more intentional,
Yeah, and
particularly because you've
priorities
had
will change.
experiences, right? Aha,
Right.
priority changes. But ultimately, we all get caught up. In fact, we wouldn't attempt to do life with a person. It just doesn't make logical sense unless you really like the idea, feelings
Right.
of being with this person for a long time. You fell in love. If you can't get into that space, that's why you're seeing that the older people get, the more difficult it is for them to settle down because
Correct.
that part of the brain is engaging more and more.
Yeah.
They're getting more cerebral about the
And
process,
they
right?
yeah, and they're getting established. So and
Yeah.
then the
And they
need
don't
is
have to settle
becoming
too.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. Let me go through a little
If
bit.
he's committed to a woman.
Women are more loyal to their feelings
So this auntie is taking the words and just decide to flip it. Women are more loyal to their feelings.
than
That
to
thing
your
threw me off.
sacrifice.
Wait, say that again.
I said that thing threw me off.
She said that to your sacrifice. I'm confused. Feelings and sacrifice in the same sentence. I'm just confused. But anyway.
Women are more loyal to their feelings than to your sacrifice.
Oh, than to your sacrifice as a man. If you're a
Yeah.
man, you sacrifice.
Yeah.
She's more loyal to her feelings than to your sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like Brother
And
Patrick said.
that's why I said that doesn't apply to the gold digger.
Yeah, yeah. So it sounded like some extreme situation where some
Right.
girl came right off Allen Avenue and come and just sweep your money because she only cares about your money. That's what it sounded like. But everybody else is listening to this, and everybody else have experiences that may make them feel like, Abi, that's what that girl did to me. Is that what
Yeah,
she did?
and some of these girls have idea of living large lives. So if they're with whoever man they are with, and he doesn't have that, the moment they see somebody that has that, I saw somebody sent an email to Joro on Instagram today, and they were saying how they met a guy that was married, and he dated him. He kept her in a hotel in Lekki. She likes it now. She's back to her boyfriend's house. He cooks with stove. She doesn't feel like the Lekki the boyfriend's lifestyle for her on the main line is for her. She wants to go back to Lekki. So that's what this girl is talking about. But
Right.
let me give you a clear example, right? Growing up for me, up till I got married, if
Right.
I'm dating one person, I don't see anybody else. I don't care what you have, Former, Bentley,
So what
whatever.
percentage of girls do you think are like that? That are loyal like that?
Honestly speaking, I feel like the older you get, it becomes like that. People become more intentional. But for me, right from growing up, it has always been like that.
You've been that girl. Like you
I don't
can't double
I don't do
date.
comparison game. I don't be like, oh, look at what Allah is doing for his wife. I would know. Once I'm with this person, I'm kind of like content. So
You're
I know my
content.
expectation. I don't try to like see like how I can leave you to a better person now.
So once you're with the person, you are engaged. Not
Yeah.
just engagement, but you
Yes.
engage that person.
Yes.
That's your
Yes.
world. You can't really see
Yes.
anything else anyway,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you don't feel that way, you wouldn't be with that person. Anyway.
Yeah. And honestly speaking, aside with the whole like everything happening now with social media and the rest, I feel like women back in the days, a lot of them used to be like that. Like when a woman is in love, that's all she sees and hears. People can be telling you stuff about your man, like he's a cheater. I saw him with this one. Women are not gonna believe because they are deep into it and they don't see here past anything
So
because of that. because of the way that he makes them
So I don't
feel.
know the numbers, right? I don't know the numbers, right?
Mhm.
But what I can tell you for sure is that what we've seen when we're growing up is what we think majority is, right? If
Mhm.
everybody around you, let's say you're a church girl, you're a good girl, you were raised in a home, even if you play outside, by 7 o'clock, everybody enter inside, you eat dinner.
Mhm.
Everybody know what room everybody is, right? If you were raised that way, there's a tendency that your friends and family friends were also raised similarly, right? There's a
Right.
tendency that you go to school that's mostly what you see. So you see the world as that, right? Until you start going outside, maybe you go to university or something, you now
Getting
see different
exposed.
lifestyle, right? And then I feel like people that were exposed to their mother was an Iyamileko that always went to party on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And and their mother was a single mother, and there were different men that go in and out of the house. They tend to have friends and family friends who are also similar, right? So they also tend to see the world in that light. They might see the world as all the girls are wrong girls, right? That's how everybody sees it. So we all generalize. Is my point off of our experiences, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
Oh,
understand what you're saying, but let me, sorry to interject. Let me ask you a quick question.
yeah.
Growing up, even until now, in the ratio of men to women, how many how many men do you see that when they see them with girls and ask them, what did he see in her, compared to women? People asking a woman, what is she dating this guy for? What is she seeing him? What ratio will you rate it based on what you know off your head?
Like typically, what would the girl see in the man?
Yeah, I'm just saying because like it's more of the women, people asking the woman like, is she dating that guy? What is she seeing in him? It is more to the
Like they
women than
don't.
it
You're
is to
saying
the men.
they don't ask the men that question. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because I'm just trying to like um explain this lady's point that she's saying
Her
women
point of
are,
view. Mm-hmm.
yes, women are like committed to their feelings or whatever. And I'm saying
Right.
that those
So she's correct. Her statement is correct.
no.
But I'm gonna add context to the statement.
Okay.
Men also don't care about anything outside of their feelings. They don't care about your
And the feelings
sacrifice.
is visual
Their feelings can be
to some extent.
stimulated by visual,
To
right?
some extent, yeah.
Right. Men, we like what we see. That's generally accepted, right? That's the point she was trying to make. That's what you were just trying to say. That women are more asked, "What did you see in that man?" than men, right? Yes, it is. Men are generally accepted to be visual, okay? But that's just the moment when you see something. What about beyond that moment, right? What about beyond that moment? Why would you engage a girl beyond just the looks, right? Beyond, why would you say, okay, this person can potentially be my wife or my girlfriend? It's more, eventually it's much more than the looks, right? Just like everybody else, right? So it is true that men are visual, okay? But you will find today that more men are coming out and saying, no, I'm sapiosexual. I like intelligent girls. There are more men saying that today than ever before. So because it's such a temporary thing, I don't really see the significance that men are visual. I don't really see the significance in the majority of this conversation because it's temporary. It's just when you first, the same way where we see Nyash, big Nyash, and we say, yeah, right? Yeah,
Right.
men are visual that way, but it's a temporary thing. It does not go all the way into majority of these conversations that we're trying to inject it into, right? The reason why we settle with a girl is much more than her looks. That's why you see a lot of men that you were like, with all those fine girls I see him dating, you might say, wow, she's not the prettiest in the world, but I see maybe because of the character, this is what he's seen in her, right? So men are not just marrying for looks. Men are also confused. They will say this about themselves, but the reality about people that have married is that there's more to why they married a person or settled with a person, and it's not just because they are fertile. A lot of them will say because she's young. No, it's bullshit too. It's because they fell in love with something about that person, and it's more internal than it's external. Okay, and that, like, even I'm looking at the Davido, right? What's her name? Chioma is not the best looking girl of all the girls. I mean, you can easily imagine that. She couldn't. There's no way she's the best looking girl of all the girls that Davido has seen, right? But Davido,
Yeah,
I was
but
just watching the video yesterday. He's known her forever. He's known her since she was 17 or something like that, and he's been in love with the idea of this is my wife for a long time.
He's in love with the idea of his enabler. That's what he is.
Whatever, however way you want to look at it, right? But the same gist, right? It's much more than the looks. Is my point, right? It's never the looks is it's an extremely temporary thing for all men. Yes, dare I say it, for all men. Okay. Now, even when it comes to you married a woman, right? If you stimulate me, if you look good in the house and stuff, that only has effect to a certain level, right? It's more important. The conversation we had yesterday is much more important. The tone in which you talk to me, the way you make me feel validated as a king, right? Yes, you make me feel validated as a king. The way you talk to me, the way you edify me, that turns me on more than anything else. In fact, you might have a new hairdo I might not notice twice in a row, and it might be the bomb. And it's a very dangerous game that men play. We get complacency, right? We don't notice certain things, right? Once it's always in our face. If you always look good, right? And we kind of expect it, right? But it's the thing that we don't expect that stimulates us, and it's usually something more internal, something less external view, all those kind of like what do you call it, myopic things that we talk about, So that's what I see in a lot of this conversation. So what she said, anyway, back to the conversation, right? Women are more loyal to their feelings than to your sacrifice. The same is true for men. Men are more loyal. If you talk to him some type of way, if he gets caught up in his feelings, you might just finish wiping out the whole house. Sacrifice your whole day wiping out the whole house. But if you're talking to him some type of way, right, that made him feel less than, he will get caught up in his feelings too. Okay, and I know that the point that she's trying to make is make a distinction between men and women, so that the whole conversation is defeated. Does that make sense?
No, I think I'm kind of like lost to the last explanation you gave about she validating that women are attached to their feelings no matter, they're committed to their feelings regardless of the sacrifice. Isn't that what attracts us to the man?
Well, again, wherever attraction in general are temporary in nature, right? They're temporary, okay? Now there's a form of attraction that you maintain over time, where this is my king, this is my queen, nobody can tell me nothing. There is that part, right? But if we're talking about what attracts you in the first place, that's also a different conversation. Yes, if a man sacrifices for you, that attracts you, right? But if he's always sacrificing for you and you kind of know that that's always going to be there, the effect of it gets watered down, because we all take for granted anything that's readily available. We all do it. We're ingrates, okay? That's the point I'm making. And we have to be intentional about this. Like, let me make sure that I'm appreciative of the little things that may seem so little, that is so consistent. Let me make sure I don't become an ingrate, right? It's something you have to be intentional about. Like if somebody bought you Range Rover every other month of the year, right? Eventually, it's not going to have the same effect on you like a girl who has never seen Range Rover before. You get the gist?
Get it?
Yeah. So so just because the man is sacrificing for you doesn't mean you won't get caught up in your feeling. Just because a woman is wiping the floor with her mouth all day doesn't mean you won't get caught up in your feelings. Even if you lost your job that day, even if it's something else, even if it's sickness, right? I was just watching Love and Marriage with my wife upstairs, and the girl said libido was affected by the cancer treatment, right? Like even outside of medical, you're fighting for your life, for crying out loud, right? There's just only so much room for certain things. Of course, a lot of things will be tampered with, right? Including how you feel about sex with your husband. And so it's considerate for her to be she was being considerate of the husband, right? but it makes sense. She was fighting for her life, you know. So there's only so much room in our head for certain things, but particularly we're talking about sacrifice, feelings. We all get, if you are appreciative of the sacrifice of your partner, that still comes down to feelings at some point. Like you feel appreciative of what somebody does for you. You feel that the height of that appreciation is higher when it's a new thing, when it's a new feeling. Once you keep getting that same sacrifice every day, you have to now tap your brain and say, Baba, remember, this is a big deal. The brain will actually forget that this is a big deal because you see it every day. Okay. People ask men same question. Why are you dating that girl? That happens too. You say, what? You don't notice my hair? I know it's a crime. I'm guilty of it sometimes. Okay. I feel you don't care if you don't pay attention to little things. It's not that we don't care. You do it, I do it. We take for granted what's readily available. And it's not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. I'm saying it so that we can become more aware of it. So we can be more intentional about it. Right? Because your partner is going to feel like you don't care, even though it's not that in reality. In reality, it's just life. You're worried about so many things. He or she is going to be there anyway. Like you're just moving, you know. But that's still not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse because it's an active marketplace. And this same behavior can translate to something much larger and bigger, and you can actually lose your family. And you won't be able to say, oh, it's not my fault, I took you for granted. That won't be a valid excuse, right? But it happens. It's called complacency, right? So if you send a woman to school, what did she say? Not to any other thoughts before I continue? We got a few more minutes to go.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Feelings than to a man's sacrifice. So if you send a woman to school, from primary to university, and till she gets to PhD, if she finds somebody she loves, she will damn you and damn your sacrifices and marry.
So she's using I see what she's trying to say, but she's using all the wrong words. You send her to school, she finds somebody she loves. What do you mean by love? Auntie, what do you mean by love? I'm confused, right? I see what she's trying to say, right? If she fall in love with somebody else for whatever reason, damn the school fees. It happens, right? But
we don't fall out of love easily like that. Women don't fall out, except if you're not in love with the person in the first place.
That's true. But she makes it seem like it's never worth it to do good things for your partner. That's what
she's watching too much Nigerian movie.
It's too much Nigerian movie, right? The way she just said it, if you have an impressionable mind, if you're too young and you chop breakfast in GSS2, you will have a hard time comprehending doing for your partner, because that's what will fool your brain. Like, it's worthless anyway.
Yep.
If you've had painful experience with a man, and somebody is telling you that, if you go and be cooking for him every day, he will just dump you, and next thing you know, 2 weeks later, we'll go and marry one girl like that. If you hear that, you combine that together with the bad experience you've had, it makes sense that you're not able to comprehend that it's worth it to ever give to a partner.
Yeah, that's when you tell yourself, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I think I'm not crazy.
Like, I'm not stupid. Thank you, Auntie, for teaching us. I'm not going to be stupid.
I thought I was crazy, but I wasn't.
Like, now you can hear somebody else who can relate to what you're saying. Right?
Yep.
And at best, she's just generalizing. At best. Everyone's experience is going to be different. Not everyone's experience alone. Your experience the last time is going to be different from your next experience.
Yes, I agree.
Even you. So don't box yourself up with this kind of talking point, okay? No, not all girls that will be sent to school, which I don't agree that you should be sending girls to school just because you want to date them, by the way. That's a different conversation. But it's not every situation like that that's going to turn sour. And that's what she makes it sound like. Hey, Tima, good to see you. Good evening.
Ready person. If you like, give a woman one of your kidneys. If she does not have feelings for you, she is not going to care about what you sacrificed.
So now, a woman that you've given your kidney to, she doesn't have feelings for you? What happened between giving the kidney to her and the point where she stopped having feelings? Can we talk about everything in between? Abi, we should just generalize it.
Let's talk about everything in between.
Right? Can you tell us the rest of the story? Like, where's the rest of the story? What happened between you giving your kidney to her and suddenly she just wants to be evil? Even if it's at least tell me she's an evil woman, at least I need to hear that. Don't just say all women are evil. I need you to tell me that this one particular woman you're talking about is evil. And, substantiate that and say, yes, actually, she was born by the devil in one Baba's house, like that, in Okelasha, in Ijeshaland. If you say, hey, like, if back it up. Don't just say, the way she said it is like every girl will do this. Don't ever give your kidney to a woman. That's the conclusion I can make from what she said.
You know what I remember the last time I think we're talking about something like this on the show with Shay, and I was like, I understand all the things that he was saying, and I understand his pain, but I would also have appreciated if he would have mentioned like some of the few things that he thought that or he felt that he has done that was wrong. So now you're talking about giving someone your kidney, and then the person waking up and saying, "I'm not doing." Like, okay, let's talk about what happened. What did you do to the person? Did you wake up every day and remind the person how you gave them your kidney and they wouldn't have survived without your kidney? How you are the person that made them stay alive and stuff like that. And you can remind the person of those stories, and they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna just leave just because I have one of your kidney. I'm not gonna breathe in this house. So you know what? Who says? So these are kind of situations that happen that people don't talk about, and they just say, "Oh, and he gave her the kidney and he left, and she left him. He didn't do anything to her. He was such a nice guy."
Yeah, that's not how it works. There's usually more to the story, and for as long as we continue to generalize like this online, it's gonna hurt a lot of people because they will have that one experience, they will align it with what this person is saying that's generalizing, and they will conclude that it is the absolute truth. They don't have to accept with their mouth. Their brain, their mindset will conclude that this is just always the absolute truth, and it's just dangerous. And that's all we're doing unpacking. I beg, I don't want to go over time, Jerry. Not to give me your last word. Make sure,
oh my God, we're on it too. Like you said earlier, people like this, they put out all this kind of like garbage out there, and they mislead people, especially those younger generations, which I want to believe like not been fair, and people like you making this type of content create more enlightenment about whatever is going on. But just what I want to say is that people are not all the same, and one person's experience might not be the other person's experience. So if you chop breakfast yesterday, the high chance of you chopping another breakfast if you decide to work on yourself is very slim, and the high chance of you getting a better person is very high, because now you've seen what happened yesterday that you chopped breakfast, and today you don't want to take that again, so you want to go on intermittent fasting. And listen, it works, but if we want to keep going, the cycle is going to keep repeating itself if you don't want to look at anything else but the other person. So if you want to just sit and generalize, you're not bringing solution to any problem. If you're not going to sit down to like review the issue and look at what are the contributing factors on both sides, then you're not going to make any improvement to either. So watching this type of thing messes people up, and especially younger generation. So self-awareness is key, honestly speaking. Accountability is very, very important too. And generalization is cancer.
Imagine if this was an open-ended conversation, I would just go in on this. There's so much more, right? Not to. No worries soon. No worries soon. We will do it. We'll do it. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. I'm going to office tomorrow, so let me go sleep.
I know. Same here. I got a lot going on tomorrow. Starting at 5:30.
Oh no, I have to go out. My office days are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So the other days are remote.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
We'll talk soon. Yeah. All right. So let me see. Kathy say, or if Brother Patrick says, no, let me go back here. Just want to read this and then we'll call it a night. Is she talking about when a woman is trying to talk to you or you don't like him, like the early stages? No, she's talking that after you've given her a kidney. Like, what is she talking about, right? Where's the rest of the story? There are some true stories out there like that, but you need to tell us the rest of the story because it's useless to be generalizing. Because the way she made it sound is like if you give a woman kidney, she will still dump you when she loves somebody else. It's weird, right? Or if they're dating and she doesn't like him, because a lot of girls won't date someone they don't like unless they want something right already, right? Siba said, could be simply people grow and fall out of love, perhaps the dynamic of the relationship. Yes, that's what I'm asking for. Where's the rest of the story? Like, these people need to stop telling lies on the internet. Tell us the rest of the stories. Because if you're hiding some part of the story, you're lying. Okay? Tell us the rest of the story. Yes, so, but yes, like Natu just said, work on yourself. It's for your own good. The marketplace is full of a lot of low-valued, low-vibration people. The best thing you can do is work on yourself. Improve your own. Put all your focus on improving your own value. You won't last on the marketplace. Okay? You know, everything else being equal. You will not last in the marketplace, in the sexual dating marketplace, if you put all the energy into working on yourself. Okay? So, these women are loyal to their feeling, not just women. All of us, we're loyal to our feelings. We don't care about anything else outside of our feelings, okay? So if you're trying to woo me, you better pay attention to what makes me feel what, right? That's seduction, right? And if I'm trying to woo you, I better pay attention not just to the surface things, but how the things I might do for you, give to you, or do against you, how it makes you feel. Because no one cares about anything outside of their feelings. Literally, all of us, okay? Divorce is a Ponzi scheme. No. Divorce is literally what people do when they want to run away from you. And it is, you didn't commit a crime. It's happened to the best of us. Sometimes in fact, the best way for you to look at it is to work on yourself. Okay, it just wasn't meant to be. Stop calling it different names, trying to shame people to not filing divorce. They will file divorce because they have the options now. If they want to run away from you, that's precisely what they need to be doing for your own good, because you're probably not enjoying that situation anyway. Okay, now am I encouraging that people should file divorce? Not exactly. I'm encouraging that people should build healthy relationships. Put the marriage to the side for 1 second. Learn how to build healthy relationships. If you don't want to do leave people alone. Leave people alone. Stop trying to force your idea of 1923 marriage down people's throats. It won't work anyway. Like, will it work anyway? That's all I'm saying. So, divorce is a Ponzi scheme. That's shaming language. Will it work? It's not going to work. Okay? If you want to divorce, you will divorce. If he wants to dump you, he will dump you. That's what should happen, because you're probably not enjoying that relationship anyway. And you should go back to the drawing board, and you still have life. Learn how to do it the right way. Like, don't miss out on life, spending all your life inside of toxic relationships just because some lame guy on the internet with a show called The Toxic Show, decide to call it a Ponzi scheme. It's shaming language. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Instead, re-engage yourself. Have a solid relationship with yourself, and then you will have something to give other people, and every one of them will want to be a part of it if you just work on yourself. All right, that's all I have. On your way out, shout out to you if you're here this late night. Okay, share it. If you're watching this in the morning, shout out to you. You can always support in the morning too. There's always a $ sign somewhere. You know, your support is highly appreciated. Shout out to all the members. I did put a video back there for the members. If you're a member, go watch that video. I put a special video back there for you. Okay. All right. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One loving up, we done enough.